What? What have we just witnessed? What have we just seen? What on earth is going on in the Premier League? I cannot believe the end to that match. I mean, what a game it was. Full credit to Brentford. It was an amazing, pulsating game of football. Genuinely loved it. That was a genuine delectable medley of footballing splendour. It was up there. It was brilliant. It was pulsating. It was like a pinball game at the end, wasn't it? I really thought that Liverpool were going to snatch a draw. Imagine if they had nicked a draw. It would have been so significant. But as it stands, they have been beat. They have been beat again. They have lost again in the Premier League. And it is now getting to the stage where winning the Premier League is going to be such a task. It isn't over. It most certainly isn't over, because as soon as you look, you think about the form that Liverpool have been in. But even when you have a look now, they're still only 4 points off the title. So I'm not ready to say that it was beyond, that it's now beyond them. But I am shocked that they have lost. I thought that they were going to use the template of what they did in Europe, scoring 5 goals away from home in the Champions League. I thought they were going to use that as some sort of genesis to kick on. I thought they were going to use that as a foundation rock. But ultimately, Arne Slot couldn't work out. He couldn't find a way. He couldn't find a system. I mean, they fought, they rallied. I thought off the back of them getting the second goal. Salah's goal, by the way. That is why you don't write off Mohamed Salah. I know he didn't have a good game, but my God, what a goal. Like the way that he took it down. Do you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of, do you remember Zinedine Zidane against Portugal? What was that, 2000, wasn't it? It reminded me of that. I just thought it was a truly, truly spectacular goal, and I loved every minute of it. It was a breathless encounter. Like, what did we play? 102 minutes of pulsating football. And ultimately, that game, it could be the game that we look back on. It makes you think about what happened, last season. Last season, when you think about where Liverpool won the league, I will always think of the game against Brentford. I will always think of Darwin Núñez against Brentford. That, for me, was the day that I realised Liverpool were going to win the league. It wasn't going their way. They didn't really have an answer. They didn't play particularly well. Suddenly, Darwin Núñez changes the game. He comes on to an electrifying finish. Like a truly electrifying, elite-level finish. And I wonder if that's the kind of thing that Liverpool are missing. I wonder if that is the kind of thing that Liverpool are missing. You know, that truly, that sort of hateful quality of a centre forward. And when I use the word hateful, it's a good thing. Like, people didn't like Núñez. People didn't rate him. I always thought he was a really good player. I always thought that he brought something really strong to that team. And the first Super Chat of the day has landed. Who would have guessed that Manchester United would be above Liverpool? Not me. Most certainly not me. I mean, Manchester United won 3 games in a row, haven't they? That geezer will be getting his hair cut soon. But yeah, they won 3 games in a row. Big result for them today. I mean, Bryan and Burmo looked amazing. I think you could easily make a case for Bryan and Burmo being the signing of the summer. That's how good and Burmo was. That's how good it's going for Manchester United. And, what is it? 3 wins on the bounce for them. So yeah, a really, really big day for Manchester United. And obviously they've got to celebrate this. They've got to enjoy this. It was a big win. I thought they'd made a pig's ear of it. Danny Welbeck was always going to score, wasn't he? But ultimately, they are doing very well, and they are in the Champions League spots, and I didn't think it was possible. It was us. It was Chelsea that gave them the opportunity. We basically ignited their season. We had an opportunity to beat Manchester United and probably get Ruben Amorim sacked. Instead of that, we make a pig's ear of the day. We get beat. Suddenly Manchester United look like a cohesive team. Suddenly Amorim is winning 3 games in a row. It was a very, very good result for them. And the fact that they are in the Champions League spots is big. I said last week it will be harder than Frankfurt, says BW96, and he most certainly did. Fair play. In the Super Chat there, the BW96 came in here and said that it's going to be so much harder against Brentford than it was against Frankfurt. And I think I kind of agreed with you. I think I agreed. I think the reasoning that I agreed was because of the jeopardy. We basically said if Liverpool don't win at Brentford, they can't win the league. And it is going to be tough. It is going to be tough. Their dream of winning the league is obviously hanging by a thread. It's so unlikely now that they can win the league, but it isn't impossible, because when you look at the league, like what I thought this league was going to be, it doesn't feel like it's going that way. Like I thought this league was going to be a 95-pointer, in excess of 95 points to win the league. I thought it was going to be one of those, and I just don't think it is now. I think that you could win the league with sub 90, and when you look at the league table, they are still in touching distance. Like, yeah, there's a game in hand, but Liverpool is still only 4 points, which it does feel big, obviously. But the days of it needing to be the 100 points that I was talking about. I mean, if Liverpool win every game between now and the end of the season, they can only hit 102 points. So the Centurions and all that, which I thought it was going to be, it just isn't. It just isn't going to be that. But I don't think the one good thing from Liverpool's perspective is, I don't think the season is going to be that. I don't think it needs to be that. But in terms of Liverpool today, I mean, they just got it so wrong. It was a well-deserved win for Brentford, and we have so many questions to ask now about the champions. Like, they are the champions. Liverpool are the champions, and they deserve the respect of being acknowledged as being the champions. They are the champions for a reason. But I mean, here's a question for you. Can you help me understand this? When does a blip become a slump? When does a slump become a crisis? And if that's the trajectory, right? If it goes blip into slump into crisis, where are we? Where are we for Liverpool now? Are we still in the blip? Have we moved from blip into the slump? Have we moved from the slump into the crisis? And if Liverpool are in crisis, then what on earth is the answer? Like, I don't think it is that. Out of the three, I imagine that we're not in a blip anymore. I don't think Liverpool can be classified as being in a blip, can they? This isn't a blip. This has gone beyond that. A blip is losing one, drawing one, losing one again, losing one, winning one, losing one. That's kind of a blip. This record isn't a blip. It's a slump or a crisis, and I don't think it's yet quite a crisis. And the only reason it isn't a crisis is because nobody's really capitalised on it. Like, they are only 4 points off the top, but it is bad, isn't it? Like, they are the defending champions, and they deserve the respect for that. But they're losing their grasp. They're losing their grasp on the league. Like, it is. Prior to the season starting, I would have said that you're only allowed to lose 4 games all season. That is the maximum that you can lose and still win the league. Liverpool have lost 4 games this season. So they quite simply now have to win every game between now and the end of the season. Well, not win every game, but they simply can't get beat again. And obviously you don't think that it's going to happen. And it's getting to the stage now where you go, Liverpool have played, Liverpool got beat. Another game, another defeat. Another week, another defeat. There is a predictability to Liverpool losing. There is this expectation that Liverpool are going to lose. And I've got a lot of Arsenal fans in my life. They were all looking at this Brentford game, saying that it was going to go their way. Turkish has gone to the Brentford game. You know that? You know Turkish, who I regularly have on this channel from the Big Six, like, got a great YouTube channel, Arsenal channel. He's gone to Brentford. He's gone to the game expecting. He's gone to the game expecting a Liverpool defeat, desperate for a Liverpool defeat. He's gone to Brentford. So no, it is worrying. There's another super chat has landed here, and it's from the GGMU. Thank you for your super chat. And it just says, need I say anything? No, you're right. We will talk about Manchester United. We will talk about Manchester United's foothold on the Premier League. We will talk about the true brilliance of Brian and Burma on this video. Do not doubt it. It's a brilliant, brilliant day for Manchester United. If you are a Manchester United fan, you quite simply have to say that this is like a great day for you. You know, when I spoke about, is it a blimp? Is it a blip? Is it a slump? Or is it a crisis? Over half of you, and I appreciate everybody getting involved. Could you do me a favour, actually? Just before we go any further, if you're watching this and you haven't liked the stream, would you be kind enough to like it? Just like the stream, really does help me out. And if you would then be kind enough to click subscribe, thank you so much. But I rate you, I rate your contribution, I respect your opinion. And over half of you watching this stream at the moment, over half of you believe that Liverpool are now in a crisis. See, that to me feels a bit extreme, but I do kind of understand what you mean. I do kind of understand why you would say that. But they are only 4 points clear. Is that not a rationale to say that it isn't yet a crisis? Charlie Knight in the Super Chat says, Arsenal's 14th league title. Potentially tomorrow, 9 games, 7 clear of Liverpool and 6 clear of City, with City to lose. Yeah, there's a lot of ifs in there. But listen, Charlie, it would be... I don't want Arsenal to win the league. I really don't. But there is an inevitability, I feel, that this Arsenal team are going to win it. You've been knocking on the door now for years. You've been asking the right questions. You've been persevering. You've been elevating. And it is painful for me to admit that there is something rather painful about watching Arsenal because they are moving in the right direction. And it is certainly looking like it could go your way. Pids Sunderland fan wants to talk about the Sunderland Wizards. We will most certainly do that on this video, no doubt. Charlie Knight seems to think that Arsenal are going to hit 90 points this season. I think you could, but I don't think you have to. And sometimes in these situations, when you don't have to, you don't. Ryan Johnson says, "Hi Rory, watching from Australia. Welcome, sir, from down under. As a Liverpool fan, we've become predictable ball watchers, and a large majority of Liverpool fans are calling for Slot's head." See, that can't make sense. Like, whatever you think is going on, even if you do truly believe that Liverpool are in a crisis, you cannot genuinely say that Arne Slot's job should be on the line. He's literally just won the league. He has literally just won the league, and you were in your first blip under him. You were in your first slump under him. You were in your first crisis under him. Like, you do not get rid of a manager that has won a league title in the first window of travesty. Like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. Absolutely not. But I agree with you. Something needs to change. 4 defeats in a row in the Premier League isn't good enough. 3 defeats in London. Is that right? Palace, Chelsea. You can't win in London. It's a London thing. 3 defeats in London. So no, it's just not good enough. And do you know what Brentford did? You mention it there in the super chat, and it is an interesting suggestion there from Ryan Johnston in that super chat, who basically says that there is a predictability to Liverpool, and it is true. Like, Brentford, they worked out a way of attacking all of the vulnerabilities that we know Liverpool have. Like, what do Liverpool struggle with? Direct football, direct into the box. So the long throw, you know when the long throw comes in and it's like a missile. It's like launched into the box in a different way. You know when long throws used to happen under Tony Pulis, kind of used to loop into the box. Now it comes in at such an angle, so flat, that it's like a missile going into the box. It was well used, well deployed by Keith Andrews, the former set-piece coach. So fair play to Brentford for making use of that. Then obviously the counter-attack. The counter-attack. Allowing Liverpool to break, allowing Liverpool to have a little bit of the ball, and then trying to catch them out, trying to catch them off guard. And again, it really did seem to work. It really did seem to catch Liverpool out. And there was a complete and utter predictability to the way that Liverpool played. And the craziest thing about it was there was no way of stopping it. There was just no way of making it stop. They didn't know the answer. They just didn't know the answer to stopping it. So, you know, when Brentford were doing their thing, when Brentford were catching Liverpool out on the counter-attack, when Liverpool were looking very susceptible to long balls into the box, they were looking susceptible to the long throw. I was watching the game at home and I'm looking at it going, okay, they need to somehow stop that. They need to somehow stop that. Whether that's having an extra defensive midfielder on the pitch to make sure that you can't be caught out on the counter-attack, overrunning the midfield. Maybe it's a way that you don't attack so aggressively so that you can't be pipped off. Maybe someone has to sit. Equally with the throw-ins. Maybe you stop giving throw-ins away in those awkward places. Maybe you get a man stood in front of the thrower to make it as awkward for him as possible, to upset his rhythm. But they didn't really offer anything to stop it. They didn't try and counter it. When you can see, like, your job as a manager, and I don't like having a pop at Slot because I have nothing but respect for champions, but your responsibility as a manager is to work out a way of nullifying the opposition's strong points. And the opposition were clearly causing you problems in very particular areas. And just nothing changed. Like, classic Brentford performance. Excellent Brentford performance. Historic Brentford performance. But not a surprising Brentford performance. So I don't know how Liverpool was so caught out. And like, the big names at Liverpool massively struggled. Like, you know what I'm doing? I'm constantly looking at Liverpool, and on some level, it's a really weird situation for me. Chelsea are useless under Maresca, right? We're useless. So Maresca's useless, Chelsea are useless. Someone has to win the league. It's not going to be us. I really don't want it to be Arsenal. So I kind of need Liverpool to win a game of football. So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, it doesn't feel right, it doesn't feel natural, it doesn't feel good that I'm supporting Liverpool. But I kind of want Liverpool to win this game because I need Liverpool to win games of football. I need Man City to win games of football because I cannot live in a world where Arsenal have won the league, even though there is an inevitability to Arsenal winning the league. So I'm watching the game through the lens of, don't like this, doesn't feel right, goes against the grain, but kind of could do with Liverpool scoring. So then I'm thinking, right, how did Liverpool score? Where's a threat? I tell you it's going to be the big names. This is the day that Wirtz is going. No, it's not going to be that. Okay, this is the day that Gakpo. No, No. This is a day, Mohamed Salah is going to shut everyone up. Mohamed Salah is going to make everybody look really foolish. He's going to score a hat-trick, win the game today. Now, look, Mohamed Salah, in that 89th minute, he scored an unbelievable goal. Like I'm talking proper. If you haven't seen the goal, you are looking at proper quality, world-class quality. Like oozing panache. It was just a beautiful Zinedine Zidane-like goal. Like the second I saw it, can anyone remember Zinedine Zidane against Portugal? Zinedine Zidane, Euro 2000, Portugal, right? That was the kind of goal that it was. Bang! 1 foot, bang, back of the net. Kelleher had no clue. Right, goal, wicked. It's the 89th minute. Like, it's a mesmerising goal. But it was the 89th minute. He hadn't done anything up until the 89th minute. And it's just so frustrating when you've got these big players that you need to shine. You need to get them doing the good things well. You've got Virgil van Dijk giving it a look. You know, I don't think harsh that penalty, right? But basically, the players that I'm looking at, they're not doing it. Like, it's a really, what word would you use to describe Florian Wirtz's performance? Do you know the word I'm going to go? Describe Florian Wirtz's performance in one word. Do you know what word I'm going to go for? Disheartening. It was like, it just disheartening, just not enough. It was disheartening, dispiriting, like lacking, just not quite good enough. And I don't really like talking about the money in football, but the geezer is worth 110 million quid. And at some point, it just has to happen. Sonny is in the super chat here and says, retaining the title is so hard. Only 3 teams have done it. We were all too optimistic. Were we all too optimistic about Liverpool in the summer? I mean, optimism isn't the word I would use because I didn't necessarily want it to be true. I was desperately hoping that Chelsea would launch a serious and sustained bid for the league. But I kind of know what you mean. I kind of do know what you mean. I really did believe. I just thought that the champions have had the best window and they're going to go on and retain the league. But you are right. Retaining a league is very difficult. Like, great managers, truly great managers, have failed to retain a league. Like, you know Arsene Wenger, a great of the game. Arsene Wenger never retained a league. Carlo Ancelotti never retained a league. Kenny Dalglish never retained a league. Like, Liverpool Football Club, arguably the biggest football club in the country, haven't retained a league since, 1984? They haven't retained a league title since 1984. That is how difficult it is to retain a league title. So, it is incredibly difficult, but the difference is here. I feel like Liverpool had the opportunity. I feel like Liverpool still do, by the way. I am not writing them off. Just for the record here, they are still only 4 points behind. It's important that everything that we say on this video, everything that we discuss, and I love the to and fro in, I love the back and forth, and I thank you all for tuning in. I really do love exploring football with you. They are only 4 points behind. Now, can I ask you, by the way, would you please like this stream? And please click subscribe. Really does help me out. And if we could get that if we could, I don't know, nudge it up to 600, we might be able to recruit a few more people. And it's really great to have the conversation. A super chat has just landed here from Harry Sinclair. He says, "Hi Rory, hope you're well. I'm so happy that Manchester United won. I was at the game today. I'm going to see my local team, Wycombe Wanderers. Yes, I know the jokes, versus Fulham. Do you think Fulham play their first team and can Wycombe win?" What's happening, Harry? I hope you had a good time at the game today. It must have been a truly brilliant game to be at. I mean, the Stretford end must have been buzzing, must have been in full voice, because that's 3 wins on the spin now. 3 wins on the spin for Ruben Amorim's men. You know, he's been there nearly a year now, and he has finally recorded 3 league wins in a row. And the player that we have to talk about is Brian Mbeumo. Like, inspiring player, inspiring forward, brilliant signing. Probably the best signing of the summer of all the players that have landed at their respective clubs. But yeah, you seem to be gathering momentum. And, you know, beating, Sunderland, Liverpool, Brighton, it's not to be sniffed at. It's not to be sniffed at. So no, mate. And also with regards to Fulham, Wycombe, I have absolutely no idea. Wycombe are my local team-ish. Yeah, not far from me. But no, I've absolutely no idea about Wycombe, mate. Absolutely no idea. But I hope you win. But good luck, and I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you had a great day today. Fergus Butler says, the Irish Gooner, is Kelleher the best in the best Irish Premier League 11? Whatever. No. No, I don't think Kelleher is. I don't think Kelleher is that good. No, definitely not. In fact, but he's a good keeper, no doubt. Robert says Amorim is the guy. We're really taking shape now. Okay, let's calm down a bit about Amorim. Let's just calm down a little bit. You do not erase, just like I'm going to say about Arne Slot. Okay, everybody's going, oh, Arne Slot, he's getting it wrong. Arne Slot, the people who even suggesting that he needs to go. Arne Slot doesn't become a bad manager because they've lost 4 in a row. Amorim doesn't become the right manager because they've won 3 in a row. This reactionary thing is crazy. Ruben Amorim is a distinctly average Manchester United manager. Until he proves that he isn't a distinctly average Manchester United manager, 3 wins on the bounce don't change the entire year that he's been at the club. Similarly, I will extend the identical courtesy to Arne Slot. The last month doesn't change the last year. The last month for Amorim doesn't change the last year. He's doing very well at the moment, Amorim. He deserves respect, he deserves time, and fair play. I didn't think he'd be able to do this, so fair play. Let's see where we are in another 10 games' time. Similarly, Arne Slot. Let's see where we are in another 10 games' time. This immediate. You win 3 in a row, you're the best. You lose 3 in a row, you should be sacked. Hang on a minute, I was a champion. I lifted a league title about 3 months ago. No, you're out, you lost 3 games in a row. Calm it. Everybody calm it. It's not going well. It's really not going well for Liverpool. I completely agree. And credit to Brentford. You know, we have to admit that they were superb under Keith Andrews. And they're playing to a level that I just didn't think was possible under Keith Andrews. You know, that Coyote's long throw, it's so effective. It's so effective. It really is. And, you know, they've got good players. That Kutara, what's his name in the middle? Damsgaard. Good players, and he's getting it right. So we have to give them credit here. But this losing streak for Liverpool it's deeper, isn't it, than just the performance? Like when did Liverpool last lose 4 in a row? They had a quite bad time under Klopp when they were defending a title, didn't they? When would that have been? When they win the league, 2020? No, when they win the league, 2020, the European Cup 2019. They didn't win the European Cup 2019. No, they did. That was Tottenham. 2019 European Cup, 2020 the league. And then they were defending the league title and they didn't defend it well at all, did they? That's what happened. So yeah, I just don't see it. Christian in the super chat here says, I think you made the right prediction wrong season. Arsenal to dominate a league title race. Think you said it in 23 seasons with dread. I'm all for it. In the 23 season with dread. Yeah, you're right. I did. I did think that Liverpool... do you know what? I felt like Arsenal could have won the league for the last 3 years. I felt like Arsenal were knocking on the door for the last 3 years. And I actually would argue that on 2 of those years, they should have won it. They should have won it last year and they should have won it 2 years ago. They were the best team in the country. This year, they've surprised me. And this year, they are demonstrating a resilience that is terrifying. If you don't want Arsenal to win the league, this is terrifying. If you don't want to witness Arsenal succeed, this is terrifying. They are demonstrating all the properties of a team totally capable of winning the league. And when you look at how miserly they are at the back, do you know they've conceded 3 goals all season? Just for context, Liverpool have conceded 14. Liverpool, in all comps, have conceded 20 goals this season. Do you know that? 20. 20 goals this season. 14 of them in the league. 14 in the league, Arsenal have conceded 3 in the league. The disparity will win you the league. That is the difference. You know, it's a real worry what's going on at the back for Arsenal if you don't want them to win the league. When you have players like Ben White, who are brilliant, not getting in the team. When you have players like Lewis Skelly, who I think should be starting for England, not starting for Arsenal. Calafiori's better than Lewis Skelly at the moment. It shows you the depth. We would always say, wouldn't we, what are you going to do if Saliba gets injured? What are you going to do if Saliba goes off form? You're so reliant on Saliba. Suddenly Mosquera comes into the club. He looks like a duck to water. All so easy. But the question then becomes, do Arsenal have what it takes in their head? Do Arsenal have that resilience? Do Arsenal have that belief? The awesome LA in the Super Chat said, you said Brentford are going to go down. I mean, yeah, I did. I did say Brentford were going to go down. But I also said West Ham United and Forest were going to go down. So, it hasn't been too bad. The predictions haven't been too bad. Bearing in mind, I said Forest were going to go down, considering that they were, it's not a terrible prediction. But yeah, I did say Brentford, and Brentford are not going to go down. You are totally fair. I mean, Brentford have just maintained, haven't they? They are the very definition of a mid-table Premier League team, and they will be a mid-table Premier League team this year. Killer Jose says, I think last season was just Klopp, can't read that word, Klopp and City went on a terrible run for so many games. Slot subs make no sense, and he is out of his depth. See, there now is an example of somebody who has just gone extreme with it. Slot substitutions make no sense, and he is out of his depth. Like that is like bewildering to me. To say that the champion, who won the league at a canter last year, won the league by 10 clear points last year, to say that his subs made no sense. I mean, I thought the subs made sense, really. McAllister for the midfield still, bringing him on at the time that they brought him on. I felt like it made sense. Chiesa, always good. Every time I see him play football, he seems to nick a goal. So Chiesa kind of made sense. I don't know if I have a major issue with the substitutions. I'm trying to think of any substitution that. I mean, Robertson would have been bought on for Kirkes, but Kirkes was booked. I can't really think of. I'm not ready to do this. Look, anyone that watches this channel regularly will know that I'm very happy to talk about managers in a derogatory way. I'm very happy to say that managers can be spoken about in a negative way, and we can talk about them losing their job. You know, people go, it's not right to talk about somebody getting sacked. No, it is with footballers. Don't be an idiot. It's a very different conversation. You are allowed to talk about managers being sacked. You are allowed to talk about managers being inept. That bozo that Glasgow Rangers had, Russell Martin, complete bozo, useless manager. Graham Potter, complete bozo, useless manager. Ange Postecoglou, complete bozo, useless manager. We are allowed to do that, okay? And anyone that tells you that you're not, anyone that wants to bring up some sort of dodgy mental reasons as to why you can't do that is a fool. You are allowed to harshly critique footballers, football managers. I just think that when you are the champion, you get a pass for a bit. You get a level of respect for it. I had to do it with Enzo Maresca. I don't think Enzo Maresca's a good manager. I didn't think Enzo Maresca should have ever got the Chelsea job, and I wanted him sacked last year. But then he wins 2 trophies. So at some point, you've kind of got to go, look, I don't like this bloke. I don't rate this bloke. I don't think he's very good. But he's just won two trophies. So he gets a pass for a bit. Arne Slot won the league in his first season in the country. So this is why, and where is it? From Jose there. This is why I just don't think that we can talk about Arne Slot being out of his depth. Arne Slot's decision-making, making no sense. I'm just not there. The Pyro Mini, thank you though, Jose. The Pyro Miniac says, Liverpool have conceded 4 times the amount of goals of Arsenal. They're not in the title race anymore. Do you know what? I think that you can almost argue that they're not in the title race because of the amount of goals that they concede. If your rationale to say they're not in the title race is they concede too many goals, they can't win the league, you're kind of right. But they are only 4 points behind. So mathematically, they can still be in the title race. Of course they can. But I do agree with you. You cannot concede goals at that rate and expect to win the league. Particularly when you are up against your challenger, who is one of the stingiest defences that the league has ever seen at this stage. Do you know that Arsenal were on course? Arsenal are on course. It's crazy. Arsenal are on course for Jose Mourinho's record. You know Jose Mourinho's 15-goal record? Arsenal are on course for it. You know, Petr Cech, John Terry, Ricardo Carvalho, Claude Makélélé, Frank Lampard, Jose Mourinho. That core spine. 15 goals all season, right? After 8 games, 3 goals conceded. What's Arsenal? After 8 games, 3 goals conceded. They are on course for that outrageous record. That is how good this Arsenal defence are. That is how serious this Arsenal defence is. So we have to take them seriously. We have to be aware that they are capable. But it's only 4 points. And look, Liverpool are so porous. They're so dodgy at the back. And they're slow. They're slow to wake up. You know, in games, they look slow. Like, they seem to always go a goal down. They seem to always be struggling. They seem to always be conceding. Like, I don't know why they seem to always be in that zone. They don't seem to start a game swiftly. And they are losing games at such a rapid rate. Like, if you think about how long would it have taken them to lose 4 games out of the previous games? Like, you know what I mean? So they've lost 4 in 4. How many games do you have to trace back to find out when they last lost 4? I bet you it's like, I don't know, 50 games. They would have lost 50 games. They would have played 50 games to lose 4 games. Now they've played 4 games to lose 4 games. I don't know how to work that out, but I reckon I'm right. I have no idea if I'm right, by the way. But I reckon I'm right. By the way, see, this is why I know you're all educated footballing people. 67% of you think that Liverpool are totally out of the title race. 67% is quite high, actually. Mate, last four defeats. I don't know. Right? But they've lost 4 in a row now. They've lost 4 in a row. And they're conceding at least 2 goals. Oh, my God. They've conceded at least 2 goals in 6 of their 9 matches. I'm going to go back to it. Listen to that. Right? They've conceded at least 2 goals in 6 of their 9 games. You know, earlier on in this video when I asked you, is it a blip? Is it a slump? Is it a crisis? 50% of you, over 50%, 53% of you said that it was a crisis. And at the time, I was like, no, it's not a crisis. If you're conceding 2 goals in 6 of your 9 games, like percentage-wise, 75% of the games that you play, you're conceding at least 2 goals. Your big players aren't performing. Your star men aren't performing. Your marquee signing's injured. Your talisman of the last decade is off form. Your record signing is underwhelming, shall we say. Is it actually a crisis? I mean, Arne Slot just has to get it right, doesn't he? Like, he just has to get it right. Losing in London, constantly. Losing to Palace, losing to Chelsea, losing to Brentford. It's just not good enough. And it feels like there is this just like major lack of self-belief. Like, you know, towards the end of the game, I've said this already, and I don't even like admitting it, but it is true. So I will tell you the total truth. You know, when I'm watching that game, because I'm so desperate for Liverpool to win, Chelsea can't win the league, right? Someone's got to win it. Tomorrow, I need City to be winning. I'll be watching Haaland going, go on, son, you score 2 goals every game. Make sure you get another 2. I'm watching this Liverpool game, and I'm like, come on. And you know, over the years, when I haven't wanted Liverpool to win, because we're going neck and neck for the title or whatever, they seem to always believe that they're going to score. The fans are going nuts. The fans believe it. The fans are constantly demanding more from the players. The players are demanding more from themselves. Everybody's elevating the tide. You've got like icons in the team. Salah is demanding more from everyone. Van Dijk demanding more from everyone. Alisson demanding more from everyone. And there was this almost innate self-belief within the team, within the ranks, within the individuals, that they were going to find a way. And invariably they did. If Salah didn't, Mane did. If Mane didn't, Firmino did. If Salah didn't, Diaz did. If Diaz didn't, Núñez did. And think about Núñez in this fixture last year. The fixture that in my mind won them the league. Comes on, 2 goals, bang, they win the league. A super chat has just landed from the DAP. Thank you very much to DAP, who has said, Slot needs to stop with his slow build-up play. We're playing into opponents' hands. Can't deal with teams putting pressure on the back 4. Klopp's side were more controlled at the end of his tenure. Do you know what? There is, Dap. I will agree with you. A lot of what you said there is an excellent and insightful super chat. But there is a predictability to how to get at Liverpool. And the craziest thing is, you know what's coming, and Liverpool basically don't know how to stop it. Like, you know, the long throw, the long flat throw. Liverpool couldn't stop it. The counter-attack, Liverpool couldn't stop it. It wasn't like Keith Andrews came up with some master plan that nobody could have possibly envisaged. It wasn't like Keith Andrews reinvented the wheel and worked out how to exploit the weaknesses in Liverpool's defence. He did exactly what you know they're going to do. Sit back, catch them on the break. Liverpool outnumbered at the back. Sit back, hope for the best, catch them on the break. Done. Long throws into the box. Direct balls into the box. Playing in behind. Like, Liverpool just have no answers. And it doesn't really make sense. You've got one of the best defenders in the world playing in your as your centre half. It just doesn't make sense. So no, it doesn't. I don't know what he's going to do. I really do not know what he's going to do. Simon Chatterley there in the super chat says, I think that the issue is that too many big signings came in at once. You bring in 5 first-teamers in the summer, it's hard to continue the way that you played last season. It's a crazy thing to say, isn't it? Because they're champions. But they're in transition. Like, they shouldn't be in transition. Liverpool shouldn't be a team in transition. But on some level, they are a team in transition. And it's their own doing. Like, generally, transitions are what happen when there's the end of an era. But Liverpool just won the league. Like, they shouldn't be a team in transition. They did do too much, but I don't know. I just can't work it out. I really do not know where they're going to go from here. But they simply need to find a way because their title defence is teetering. I'm not ready to say that it's over. And I know that a lot of you are saying it. And I do appreciate your feedback. But I'm going to be blunt with you all. But I'm also going to be polite. I know that 67% of you believe that Liverpool's title challenge and title credentials are over. They cannot win the league this year. I think 67% of you are wrong. But you're only wrong by a Rizzler paper. Liverpool can't afford any more slip-ups. But they are currently 4 points behind. So if it doesn't necessarily go well, if it doesn't necessarily go their way tomorrow, for like the opposition, if Arsenal don't win, it's not the end of the world. But they are just conceding too many goals. I've seen Arne Slot's been talking after the game. He said conceding 3 goals is far too much if you want to win a game of football. This was the worst performance out of the 4 losses. And I'm not even sure I would agree with that. I'm not even sure I would agree. Maybe collectively. But I don't think it was as bad as it's been elsewhere. I don't even think it was. Like, it was a bad day at the office. Conceding 3 is not acceptable. But there's been some bad performances, man. There have been, it's not rare anymore. It isn't rare. And when I was watching when I was watching Liverpool today, it was the big players who just didn't shine. Like, realistically, Mohamed Salah, he did score one of the best goals that we will see in the league this season. Like, the beauty and glory of that goal is outrageous. But it can't mask the fact that he was invisible for 89 minutes. Like I said, I'm watching the game. I'm like, get on the ball, get involved. You're one of the best players I've ever seen. Get involved. Crazy. Jack Kafkakis says, since clinching the title, Liverpool have won 5 out of 13 Premier League games. 3 of the wins were from the last-minute goals, and 1 was a wonder strike. Do you know what, though? How many of those were last season? How many of those were last season? Like, once you've won the league last season, I don't think that you can factor anything in there. Like, I don't think that once the league was in the bag last year, whether you win, lose or draw, I don't think it tells you anything about the team. I don't think that is an indicator that things were going a bit soft. I think that once the league is in the bag, look, the year that Chelsea won the league with 95 points, we went to St James's Park last day of the season, we drew. Like, we were brilliant. And then we retained the league the following season. Like, it didn't matter. Do you know what I mean? It didn't matter. I think Laurent Robert scored for them. Like, it didn't matter. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure that that's a big thing. But if you bring it through, Jack, into just this season, the analysis that you brought to the Super Chat, and I do appreciate your contribution, your knowledge is good. And the point that you make is good. I just don't think that we need to extrapolate into last season. Focus it on this season. Like, the one that shocked me was conceding in six of the 9 Premier League games, conceded 2 goals or more. You just can't win a league doing that. How many times in a league title bid do you need to win 1-0 ugly? Clean sheets win your league titles. Sir Alex Ferguson's famous quote: goals win you games, defences win you leagues. Goals win you games. They can score goals, Liverpool. Defences win you leagues. They don't have a defence. And then you look at Arsenal. Goals win you games. They got goals. They got goals in that team, Arsenal. Defences win your leagues. You look at Man City. Goals will win your games. I mean, Erling Haaland scoring about 2 goals a game. Defences win your leagues. Donnarumma in goal. Can they get it right? Maybe. But if Liverpool continue conceding at this rate, it is going to be a disaster. The Mumphy Mango says, love the channel. That's very kind of you. I'm getting a lot of stick at the moment, so I do appreciate a bit of love. That's very, very kind of you. Love the channel. Time to admit the Brentford relegation prediction was wrong. Absolutely. I've got no qualms doing that. Look, talking about football is a beautiful, beautiful way to spend time. I do it in a pub. I do it with friends over WhatsApp constantly. I do it in cafes, and I do it with you. It's about bravado. It's about opinion. It's about putting your neck on the line. And I said that Brentford would go down. I said that Keith Andrews is a terrible appointment. And I was wrong about Brentford going down. And I was wrong about Keith Andrews being a terrible appointment. There is the biggest mistake I made wasn't about Keith Andrews. The biggest mistake I made was underestimating the system at Brentford. They are a regimented machine. As a club, they will not go down because they are so structured, so sensible, and they have a system and they stick to it. The way that they recruit players, the way that they recruit managers, the way that they promote from within. I didn't trust the knowledge that I have. I know that Brentford are a good club. I know that they're well run. Why did I say they'll go down? Like, I was slightly foolish. So I am prepared, undoubtedly, to admit that I was foolish on that front. But this is just a shocker for me. This Liverpool situation now is a shocker. And we are in a situation now where you're looking at the big players and you're like, where are they? Where are they? Like, where was Salah today? And do you know what? For the first time, we're 9 games into Liverpool season, 14 games into Liverpool season if you go in all competitions. For the first time ever, we've got to talk about Wirtz, haven't we? I feel like I've always been very generous to Florian Wirtz. I've always been very understanding to Florian Wirtz. And this is the first time that I'm kind of going, no. It's just not good enough. It's all a little bit delicate. It's all a little bit pretty. But the team are now, wherever you believe they are, in the journey. The journey is blip, slump, crisis. Wherever you believe they are in that journey, they're now somewhere on it. Okay, they're not on this roller coaster. The roller coaster is called blip, slump, and crisis. They're on it, right? They're moving. Someone needs to get them off it. Why isn't it the £100 million footballer? Why isn't it him? Why isn't it his responsibility now? 9 games into the season, 14 games into the season overall. Why isn't it him? And I'm watching it today. I'm looking at it today. It's all very pretty. It's nice touches. Lovely way to pass. It's a little bit Thiago Alcantara. It's like nice, beautiful, lovely shape on the ball. Lovely shape on the pass. Lovely whip on the pass. But do something that affects the game of football, man. Do something. There's just such a difference, isn't there, between being a good footballer and an effective footballer. And give me an effective footballer every day of the week. Do you know he's a really good footballer? But he was never fucking effective. He didn't affect anything. Mateo Kovacic. Lovely footballer, carries the ball, wins a free kick. Don't ever do anything. Like, in his Chelsea career, 5 times a season he'd do something. 5 times. You know, like, then you've got players who are ugly. They're all over the place. Michy Batshuayi, like, it's all over the place. Hectic, wild, goal. Hectic, wild, goal. Love it. You know those players that actually affect the game of football. They actually have a direct impact on the result. Like, give me a Solomon Kalou over an Alvaro Morata every day of the week. You know, that kind of player that gets hold of a game and does something. Now, Florian Wirtz is all beautiful. But affect the game, man. You've got to. And I don't like doing it too harsh on him because I know he's young. I know he's new to a league. I know he's new to a country and a language. But, brother, the rules have changed because your team are bordering on a crisis. They're on the precipice of a disaster. Now, someone's got to rise up. Someone's got to rise up. Take the team by the scruff of the neck and drag that team to victories. And if Salah's not going to do it, it's kind of you now. You know what I mean? Like, it's not Ekitike. Ekitike's brought in who's doing far more than you. Ekitike's brought in as a kind of makeshift player. He's brought in as somebody who was initially seen as the main man, but then kind of ushered out. He was going to play a bit part. He was going to play out wide. He was going to, he was never the guy. And he's done far more than Florian Wirtz since he's had the live bird upon his chest. So it just doesn't feel... It just doesn't feel right. C's in the super chat here, and he's now just telling me my nightmares. Ready for this? This is going to break your heart. Open top bus parade in Islington come May, and this is what I'm worried about. This is why Liverpool need to win games of football, because Chelsea are so distinctly average. Because we have the worst owners that we have ever had. Because we have a manager that is, let's face it, a championship manager. We plucked a manager off the championship bench of Leicester. Because we did that, we are now who we are. We can't win the league. So somebody has to win the league. I, therefore, have to make my peace with someone winning it. And it cannot be an open-top bus parade in Islington come May. It's a real worry. The Devil 36 something says, everyone doubted Arsenal's corners, but forgot the real edge, the rock-solid defence. That's what differentiates Arsenal from the rest. Sustainable. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Arsenal were a major threat in both boxes. Arsenal are totally dominant in both boxes. Now, I don't want to go too mad on, like, you know when people get a little bit excited about the set-piece coach? Like, I don't think that this Nico Jova deserves the credit that he gets. I don't think he deserves a mural. He's not doing anything that hasn't been done by loads and loads of managers before him. Every manager in the history of the game has had somebody that works on the set-pieces, right? It's the players that deserve the credit. It is the amazing delivery of Declan Rice. It is the guaranteed delivery of Declan Rice or Bukayo Saka. Then it is the dominance in both boxes of the big lads that win the ball in the air. So yeah, Nico Jova, you can give it, but you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. Christian says, you say that Liverpool are not out. Where do Arsenal lose the points that we've gained already? We've gained 8 more points than last season at games such as Fulham. Oh, because you can't predict it. Like you can't predict that. Like nobody would before before Liverpool ended up going on this slump, the slump that nobody would have predicted, you would have never ever said that they'd lose 4 in a row. Right? You'd have never ever said that they would have got beat at Brentford. So you can't predict it. You know, yeah, you picked up points at Fulham, but you could quite easily drop points at Stamford Bridge. It's very unlikely, especially Arteta versus Maresca is a mismatch. But you could. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't predict it. The other thing that you also have to factor in here, you can never ever underestimate. You know when you are as brilliant as Arsenal are, and I hate saying these words, but it's true. You know when you are as brilliant as Arsenal are and as brilliant as Liverpool are to a degree, the league isn't really defined now. Do you know when it's defined? When you're playing in a Champions League quarter-final second leg at the Nou Camp on a Wednesday, and you're playing at Old Trafford or Main Road or the Etihad on a Saturday. That's when the league title is decided. Your season could go like this. It could go, a fixture bit could go like this. In March, April, it could go Barcelona, Man City, Barcelona, Liverpool. That's what defines your season. So yeah, I know what you mean, but Christmas period, this is when leagues are won. Christmas period, festive period. How do you get on? Are you top on Christmas Day? Are you top on New Year's Day? It's important. Then Easter. How are you getting on in Easter? And then around about the Champions League semi-finals. I believe that Arsenal are going to be top on Christmas Day and New Year's Day. So you've got one major hurdle out of the way. And there is a direct chronology between the team that are top on Christmas Day and the team that win the league. Oh dear. I'm just gonna have to somehow start rationalising the fact that Arsenal could genuinely and probably will genuinely win the league. Can I ask you a massive favour? Would you please click subscribe? I love having these live chats with you. The second that the football finishes, my first thought is, right, let's go and see what everybody's up to. So if you would be kind enough to please, oh my God, we've got 800. If a few of you could like the stream, we might hit 1,000 likes. I don't think we've ever hit 1,000 likes before in my entire life. So if anyone is watching this and hasn't clicked like, please like the stream. And if you would be really kind, why not click subscribe? It would be my honour to welcome you into this community. Terrible day for Liverpool, brilliant day for Brentford, brilliant day for Ruben Amorim, 3 wins in a row, terrible day for Chelsea, brilliant day for basically everyone other than me. Ta-da.